Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Honey Flow Talk Show. I'm really excited to bring on the next guest. Welcome, YouTube, Facebook, and of course, Twitch, the community here as well. I met this woman actually at a farmer's market a couple weeks ago, fell in love with her products. She's got lots of great products, and I've been on this health kick for a while. A lot of times I've fallen off and tried jumping back on. Now, this week, I'm trying to jump back on. It's definitely a process, eating healthy, eating cleaner. And as we get older, we need to definitely take care of ourselves a lot more. She had a lot of useful, great tips as well that I thought was beneficial. I know I've had chefs and cooks and different streamers on this show, but she is going to be the first that actually makes vegan products. And she was just so kind to walking me through a lot of things as I try to work on my health journey. And eventually, I would love to become vegan myself, but I know that's going to be a process. So, we're going to bring in Richerearth Vegan Eats. You guys, I want everyone to check her out on Instagram. Her name's Eartha. And again, it's Richerearth Vegan Eats. If someone can look up the link on Instagram and post it in the chat, that would be amazing. Hey, Twitch is our radio. I see you. We got AJ officials. And again, welcome YouTube and Facebook as well. You're going to see most of the comments on Twitch tonight. So make sure you come through to twitch.tv/DJ Honeyflow. So let's bring her in right now. And we're going to have a great conversation as well. Hey, how you doing?
Hi.
Thank you
I'm
so much
good,
for coming.
thanks.
It
No problem.
looks so great outside too.
Just a heads up, I am in a park. I was outdoors doing some photography today, so I'm still here.
Oh,
So
awesome.
I'll be doing so you may see, I don't know, kids might run by, birds might fly by. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll just roll with it.
Yeah, for sure. And this is your first time on Twitch, right? You're
It
probably
is,
not. Yeah, so
yeah.
make sure you guys welcome her, you guys, all the Twitchers. This is her first time on Twitch. She's the second person I've interviewed first time on Twitch. The singer I interviewed a couple weeks ago, it was her first time on Twitch too. So good to see you guys again. We got
Thank you.
of course, my day one in the building. Twitch is our radio, of course, AJ officials too. We got Spidey Glenn in the building. He goes, "Hi, honey, I'm home." Um,
Oh,
and Twitches says she's walking in the park. She seems big on bike riding and
okay.
healthy. So that'll be good as well.
Mhm.
So I was curious, are you originally from Toronto too?
Well, I was born in Jamaica and I moved here in 1989 and I've never lived outside of the GTA. So that's been my
Okay.
home. Yes. Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. Do you ever go
Originally
back?
from.
Do you ever head back to Jamaica too?
Oh, the first time I went back was 2018.
Oh, wow.
After all these
Okay.
years, yeah, my mom went back quite a bit. She never took us. My dad moved to London, England, so I mean, 2018 was the first time I had the opportunity to go back, and I stayed on a resort.
Oh,
But
nice.
I did go off the resort to have some fun. So
For sure. And I know the
yeah.
culture too is huge.
Mm-hmm.
I find, especially my Jamaican friends, into different remedies and like health and just different things with food as well.
Oh yeah. Yes,
Just the culture and the lifestyle I find.
it's
Um,
true. You just have to know where to go. For me, because of the way I grew up, with my dad being Rastafarian, I'm used to a certain way of like eating, and I know where to find this stuff. So, but if you
wow.
don't
So
know, it can be difficult. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Then yeah, you're gonna just load up on jerk chicken, rice and peas, all the good food. Have you found remedies
Mhm.
too to like kind of I guess counterbalance like all those good foods, counterbalance that, especially being vegan, because that's it's
Mm,
definitely not easy.
yeah, I would say the remedies are definitely with juicing. Like actually, yeah, a lot of juicing, fruits and vegetables. That's where the remedies come in for sure. A lot of ginger, turmeric, uh, well, not honey, a lime for sure, and then just lots of fruits and vegetables. You know,
Okay,
yeah.
awesome. That
So
sounds really good.
that's my remedy.
Yeah. So what
Mhm.
made you decide to open up a business too?
Oh, it was just meant to be. I think since from I was young, I always wrote business plans. I always talked about owning my own business. When I was 12, I wrote a business plan about opening my own secretarial services. Just all
That's
these little
awesome.
things, just all these ideas that popped into my head. And I think I don't know, I think it comes from my dad, like this that having that entrepreneurial spirit and just going for things. And I've just always wanted to do it. And my love for food just led me to where I am today.
Okay. And why like say in health, why is that
Mhm.
important? Why was that important to you?
Oh, I love good food. I
Mhm.
see what good food I see what it does for the mind, for the body, and how it makes me feel. And I just love sharing that with the world, and just love sharing that with everyone. My business partner Richard, I think you had the opportunity to meet him as well at
Yeah.
the booth.
Yeah.
He ended up going vegan for his health. Whenever it was like maybe over 10 years ago, whenever he ate meat, his belly would swell up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
and he couldn't quite understand why, what was happening, and he would just feel low energy, and he decided to cut that out, and he started feeling better over the
Really?
years. So yeah,
That's interesting. Yeah, because I definitely
yeah,
feel low energy, like, now that I've gone
hmm
back to, because I think the other day I cheated and there was a new
hmm
Jamaican restaurant that opened up, and I'm smelling the food, and I'm, like,
oh,
hungry, and I'm like, "Let me just walk in there and just see what they had," and they had jerk chicken poutine, you know?
oh,
And I ate that entire thing, and I'm like, I
yeah,
could barely bike ride. Never do that, guys, biking. That's the craziest thing you can do, especially when you have an hour to bike home. Never
oh,
eat
not a
jerk
good
chicken
idea. Yeah,
poutine. Yeah, but it definitely food. I'm noticing a huge difference now too. It definitely makes you
yeah,
tired, you know,
yeah,
depending on what it's such medicine. And I feel like food and drinks are like science too. Like you
it
need,
is.
it's like the right chemistry or you need the right ingredients. You just, I don't know,
Mhm.
food really is medicine for us as well, right?
Right. For example, they'll tell you
Yeah.
to, like, for the brain, they'll say like juice beets together with like pomegranates or, those things. Like they have different formulas for different areas of the body and different functions, which I think is great. And it's funny that you mentioned like going back to your chicken steak. um, I, I've been tempted over the years to, you smell the food and it smells so good, and I have tried it, and then I just, it only happened once, twice, and then I was just like, okay, I'm over it. But I understand that it takes time for a lot of people to get to that point. So
So
yeah, I
true. Like, would you
understand.
say I feel like your eyes are, like, bigger than your stomach because we don't really
Yeah,
need to consume much as humans, right? But I think our
right.
eyes are much bigger. It's like we just want it. We see it and we want it,
And you
you know?
smell it.
Yeah, you smell it
It smells
too,
so
for
good,
sure.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. So, how long have you been in business for as well?
So this particular business, we officially launched it at the end of November 2019. We launched it at the National Women's Show, and this
Wow.
is just before COVID. So it was 2 years of trying to figure out the direction we're taking the business in. We ended up getting a commercial space spring of 2020, and we're not getting any business, so we ended up having to leave that space in 2021 through lawyers and all that stuff, but we were able to get out of the contract, and now we are just operating online. We have our e-commerce store. We're on social media. It's just two people running this business for now, so there's not a lot of time to really put a lot of effort into social media, because we were both working full time up until June of last year when I left my full time job to focus on this full time. Richard is still working full time, and it's yeah, since 2019, just on the grind. COVID actually really set us back, but I think we're on the right track back. So,
For sure, and it takes such guts and courage, especially through
mm-hmm.
COVID. It was,
Yeah,
definitely different. We had the harshest lockdowns for all you guys that don't know in Canada, across the
mm-hmm.
world.
Yeah,
So a lot of people lost their jobs, and just, to push through that, like, I I give you a lot of credit too, to push through also in that time, because it was hard for all of us, going through
right.
COVID as well, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I mean, social media is awesome. You got to definitely find time, which is hard because social media is a full-time job, like doing
Yes.
flyers, graphics. Trust me, even on my show, it's like a full-time
Mm-hmm.
job, uh,
Yeah,
social media, but it's well needed because you have
it
great
is.
products, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Do you
Thank you.
ship? Because I know I have a lot of international people on my show too. Do you ship out, like, to the States, or is it within
Not,
Canada right now?
yeah, just within Ontario. Not at this time. We are working on it. We may visit the US at some point this year, just to have discussions with a few people about having our products
And have
there.
you talked to any of the, like, tried marketing to some of the bigger stores out here, like, Sobeys, or some of the
Mm,
food, any of the food chains out here as well? Because sometimes they picked up, what's his name? I don't know if it's Mr. Jerk. He's like on a bottle.
mhm.
I buy his bottle, something, it's like a
Um,
jerk sauce,
the
and he,
guy and his face is on the bottle, the bald.
yeah, he's
Yes,
he's
yes, I
everywhere.
know who it is. Yes.
But yeah, he started out, I think, small too, smaller,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then now his products are like everywhere, right?
Yes. So we made the decision that's not the direction we want to go,
Okay.
for a lot of reasons. It takes a lot to be in store, and it's not.
Mhm.
We don't want to. It's not that we don't want to put that work in. We want to be able to enjoy what we are doing, and we all want to be able to also make money. I know that when it comes to dealing, like having like large distribution deals, it takes a while for you to make money. I mean, the best part of it is that you're now a huge recognized brand. You have some clout behind you because you're actually in store,
Mhm.
but it takes a lot to be able to sustain and for you to actually be making money as well. So for every store that you're in, for example, you have to make sure that you're in at least five smaller stores, like
That's
mom and pop
interesting.
shops, to
Yeah.
actually be making some kind of money, right? Because there's like, oh, there's so many costs that they charge you.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's
I didn't know that,
there's like,
actually.
yeah, there's you have to pay the distributor, and they have to pay to be on the shelf, and then there's all, so it's not always a healthy relationship between the actual, for example, Sobeys and you know the the actual person. So my
Yeah.
tablet is overheating.
Uh-oh, it's overheating, it says?
Yes, sorry, just a moment.
Okay. Wonder why it's overheating. I've never heard that before, actually. Hmm.
I think because I'm sitting in the sun. Okay, I'm out of the shade.
Uh-oh. Oh no, you guys. I think we lost her. We're gonna wait until she comes back. And yeah, we definitely lost her there. So it must have been the laptop or the iPad. I think she was on overheating. So how you guys doing? Welcome. Thanks for coming through. I mean, I got to get comfortable being on my own anyways. We got Ashton in the club. We got Spidey in the building. Twitch is our radio is walking. And she says ear hustling. How you doing, Tara Lees? This is like my second time on my own. So Tara, you guys got to make conversation with me. So for all you guys that don't know, make sure you guys are adding her. Her name is Richer Earth Vegan Eats. Richer Earth Vegan Eats. That's the name of her company. If someone could actually look it up on Instagram and throw the Instagram link in the chat, that would be helpful for me. We want to definitely support local businesses. Um, Especially ones that are just starting out. I was kind of thinking about, even during the pandemic, how they're shutting down so many small businesses. And it makes sense because the biggest people or the biggest leaders in charge of this entire world pretty much own everything from all the products we have, at Costco and Walmart and all the big brand names to everything we consume. So it kind of made sense that a lot of small businesses were kind of shut down in that time in order for a lot of big businesses, organizations to profit, like Procter and Gamble and all those companies. You guys could do your research, but it definitely is linked to the top 10 guys in the world that are billionaires that own pretty much everything that is consumed and everything that is done in the world. But as a consumer, it's really important. Sometimes you don't think that your buying power is big, but it actually is. Our purchases and our buying power, if you choose not to buy in big corporations, but you choose to support local businesses like this, is very, very important to do. And we got to do it now, especially because we already kind of had a trial run of how everything happened during the pandemic. So we want to make sure that we're supporting, just like the movie I talked about earlier. I think it's at 100 million people, 100 million in profit, Sound of Freedom. And that's like by you guys. That's by me and you consumers saying, hey, we're not going to purchase or maybe box office things like movies. We're going to purchase an indie film. And it's the same thing with local businesses. You choose where to put your money to. Oh, okay. I think oh no, she just went out again. Shoot. we're gonna we're gonna wait a few minutes for her to come back. But yeah, as I was saying, it's really, really important to use your buying power. I mean, Costco and all these big chain stores, I used to love and shop like a lot at, but the more I'm investigating, even some of the foods that we're eating, it's just not good for us. A lot of stuff that's on the shelves, right? So with Richerearth Vegan Eats, her food, literally you can read every single ingredient. And I challenge you guys to go into your grocery store, pick up any item. Let me know if you could find 5 items in that store where you actually know the ingredients. Only 5 items, even in the health food section. I challenge you guys to do that, and I bet that you won't be able to find that. Okay, we got you back. Are you on your phone now?
I'm on my phone now. Yes, the tablet
Okay.
overheated for some.
Oh,
Not sure.
wow. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it never happened. That's okay. I got to get used to talking on my own anyways, but I was just mentioning how important it is to buy locally, like invest in businesses like yourself that actually have, a real conscience, that actually are honest when it comes to labeling. Because when I read your ingredients, I can understand every ingredient on there, right? Which is kind of what you're supposed to be doing. What do you think about that? Like, do you think?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree 100%. It's funny because being in the food business and actually making our own products, I'm very conscious when I actually go to buy myself. I actually do look at the ingredients, and then I'll see all these different, you know, this gum and this, and it's like, no, no. And I understand that some of these items are preservatives, but at the same time, it's my choice. So I would rather go for the simple, just basic, simple ingredients because there's a lot you can do with simple ingredients. And I know that for a lot of people, they want their food to be shelf stable. For us, everything has to be refrigerated, which, some people find to be a nuisance, but for us, like, we don't mind. We'd rather have the ingredients be real.
So true. And I heard actually, I was watching a documentary the other day talking about how it came from the war. So we were never supposed to have shelf life like food as human beings like this, but
Yeah.
they wanted to keep it. I don't know if it was. You could correct me because I'm probably wrong on this. I don't know if it was World War I or II, but they're like trying to keep the shelf ingredients, and they were testing it amongst soldiers, right? And they
Oh.
realized that it was actually worked for them. So then
Mhm.
they brought it into like pretty much the whole world. But we're, as human beings, we're really supposed to be consuming things that are fresh and from the ground, right?
Yes.
Um, so did it take a while for you to kind of, you know, or were you always kind of into vegan products, and or did it take a while to kind of transition over as well?
I was always into it. Like I said, my dad, like just the way I grew up with my dad being Rastafarian, and just the way that I ate as a child growing up, I it was just a natural thing for me. I loved, before I went fully vegan, I had this blog that I called Cooking Green Goodness, which is just all about cooking vegetables and how to cook them well. And then that, went into um, product development, food.
Oh,
Just,
wow. That's
yeah.
awesome. So then
Mhm.
you probably don't eat out at all then? Like, well, I shouldn't say at all, but not too much if, because a lot of our
Not
food and the way it's prepared is not great either.
all, I'd say not too much, but we do indulge once in a while. There are a lot of good places to eat now. Before, not so much. You can find some really good options, especially within Toronto.
Okay, awesome. Hey, Miss Princess. She's it's good. She's in the future. She's from Australia. So I think they're, I don't know if they're 14 hours ahead of us, but I know they're the next day. How are you doing? Good to see you. Good morning to you as well, and everyone. Thanks for coming through. We got DJ Jonah out of Chicago too. He's been on a health and fitness thing. We've talked about it too before as well, but it fluctuates. It's really, I don't know. I find it challenging, maybe because that was never my lifestyle like before. So I
Mm-hmm.
find it like it's still up and down for me. Like I'm still
And
trying.
it will be.
Mhm.
Thing is, nothing happens overnight, and I think that's one thing that people don't understand, and they end up feeling guilty about it.
Mhm.
You shouldn't. It takes a while to learn. Like you're completely changing the way you eat, um, changing what you know. You have to do research. You have to do a lot of research. You have to get recipe books. You have to be committed as well, right?
Mhm.
Um, Getting recipes, I think that is huge. Recipes for breakfast, lunch, however you choose to eat, snacking throughout the day, and just keep trying. Even if you just try one recipe a week, and then it's like one every 2 days, and then one every day, and then that's how you start learning how to cook,
Would you
right?
say like pre-planning is pretty much key? Like you got to really plan, like pre-plan if you're
Yeah,
eating clean or healthy?
you do. Meal planning is huge. Like once you are, once you're fully into it, then it's not really an issue. But when you're just getting into it, meal planning is huge, because then, that also stops you from eating out.
Mhm.
Plan,
So
you
true.
you have your list of items, grocery items for the week. You shop. You can prep some meals ahead of time, and then that helps you through the week, and that helps you from, like I said, stops you from eating out, eating junk. You can plan your snacks. You can plan your juices, and it's such a good feeling once you get to that point, and
Yeah, so true.
you're disciplined. It's the best feeling, and I
Yeah.
wish that for everyone.
And especially in entertainment, there's a lot of DJs, a lot of
Mhm.
people here on Twitch, not just DJs, but like streamers that do cooking shows. They do they're gamers, they're crafters, they do talk shows, motivational shows, fitness shows. You have pretty much anything you want to stream, you could do here. I think it would be great for you too if you had the time. Say if you make recipes or you show things to people, right? Like even something simple, people would be interested in watching that and seeing that, you know?
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, DJs we don't eat healthy like at all. You eat when you can. Sometimes you're eating at 3 in the morning, 4 in
Oh.
the morning. So
Mhm.
it's good to have you on, to talk about health with us.
Mhm.
So how is the market in Ontario for vegan products too, would you say, now that you just started?
It has gotten a lot better. You can find there are grocery stores specifically for vegan products. They carry only vegan. So one place would be like Good Rebel. They have places in like Hamilton, Ontario, Kitchener, strictly dedicated to carrying vegan products. Everything you want, you can find. You can find, for example, you can find mock meats. You can find all your sauces. Everything you need to cook with is you can find. So
Okay, nice.
it's a good market. I would definitely say it's a good market space.
Have you ever linked with I just had an idea. I always have these ideas when I listen to people, but there's
Mm-hmm.
a woman that I've met. She's she just opened up too, just like you during the pandemic.
Okay.
And her restaurant's called Tail Indian. She does like amazing. Like she will convert any meat eater into vegan instantly. Like her food
Yeah.
is unbelievable, right? But I'm going to try to see if I could link you guys together as well in some way because she's got very, very good
Mm-hmm.
meals. And who knows if she, could use your products as well. She's very big in vegan cooking and one of the few that I talk to quite a bit. So maybe I'll try to link you guys together and
You.
see because you have good products and she
Mm-hmm.
definitely has really good food the way she prepares it.
And
Yeah.
it's Tail Indian.
Yeah, it's called Tail Indian Cuisine. It's
Okay.
right on the lakeshore in Etobicoke. And
Oh,
she'll like I always go get her paneer. She'll have these spicy paneer wraps
yeah.
almost like in a roti type of thing, but she'll
Mm-hmm.
fire like put it over the, I don't know what it is, like some stone oven thing.
Oh,
And
okay.
oh, so good. Butter chicken, she found a different sauce or cream for that as well. She'll
Mm-hmm.
have potato burgers. I've never tried that in my life. Like it's like a patty burger
Mm-hmm.
made out of, I guess, potato. So
Okay.
just different things. So I'll definitely link you guys together.
Thank you.
Um, so yeah, in your opinion, how can people like get healthier, would you say?
Get committed um, to getting healthy. It's a different process for everyone, and everyone's reason for wanting to get healthier is different, right? But you have to be committed to the process. Um, man, my advice would be again, the big thing is like when it comes to being healthy, like a lot of people they'll just wake up and be like, I want to be healthy. Why? What is your why? Why do you want to be healthy? And once I think that really helped me through my journey as well. Why do I want to be vegan? What do I want the outcome to be? What am I in it for? Just consider those things, and it'll just make it
Mhm.
better for you. Definitely know your
Yeah,
yeah.
you know your why. So that's interesting. Would you say like sometimes people wait until they have a health complication or something happens to them, before they say, okay, I got to do this. I got to make some changes here?
Yes, absolutely. And the thing too is a lot of people they'll have an inkling. They'll know that something doesn't feel right with their body and they'll still keep up with the bad habit, right? And then they will wait until, hopefully it's not too late before they decide to make that change. Yeah.
So true. And sometimes you don't even think it's bad. Like when I did this 40-day challenge, like I hate wasting food. Like it's such a pet peeve of mine. I hate wasting even a grain of rice. Like I just don't like wasting food at all, right? And
Right.
I literally had to throw out probably 6 garbage bags of food and I didn't even realize
Oh
like
no.
my friends are like if there's sugar or anything in the ingredient you can't read, then you got to throw it out. I was like, come on, what about this? What about that? And it went from like peanut butter to like even cocoa powder to
Oh,
I think I
wow.
was looking at pumpkin spice and it had sulfites in it. And I
Huh.
started Googling, I'm like, what does sulfites mean? What exactly does this mean? And when I Googled it, it was like it gives women hormonal like issues and just a lot of crazy stuff that it does to people, like men and women, right?
Mm.
And sulfites is in like everything. And my friends were like, well, like you either throw out the food and do this and commit to this, they're like, what is the purpose in keeping the food? Like, what's it going to do to you or for
True.
you? So, I
You're
mean,
not going back to it.
yeah, I mean, I did keep some stuff, I'm not gonna lie, and pretend I'm perfect, but I cheated a few times in the 40 days.
Mhm.
As you can tell, Honey Flo getting jerk chicken in the middle of her bike ride is, yeah, it can be a little crazy. But for the most part, I committed to it and I started feeling different, like more energy, less tired. My hair was growing back.
Yeah.
I lost a lot like during COVID, just a lot like brain fog, like crazy for almost a year. So when I started eating more fruits and vegetables, and just more clean eating, like, yeah, I definitely was noticing a difference after 40 days, you know?
Notice because I hear a lot of people say this, and it was the same for me when it comes to like phlegm.
Hmm.
Notice less of that in your body, or it was, or no.
Oh, I
Mhm.
don't really know. Oh yeah, would that be like I think Dr. Sebi talks about is it Sebi talks about it?
Doc-
Mucus, right? In the
Nutrition?
body?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Like how can you I don't know if I could
No,
really
because
tell.
sometimes like even just in your, in like for me it was in my head, outside of allergies, um, but it was just mostly you feel it here, right?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I
Mhm.
had a lot of brain fog, like crazy brain fog, and just like overly tired all the time.
Okay.
So I think it was definitely, yeah, definitely the food for sure. Um, yeah. So, I think you mentioned earlier, my next question was, would you say it's gradual changes in habits? Like it doesn't happen overnight? I think you mentioned.
Yeah, it does
Uh,
not.
yeah. Yeah.
And don't feel guilty about not meeting whatever the goal is that you're set for yourself.
Mhm.
It's, you're human,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
but it won't happen overnight. And you just have to, the other thing is just to be consistent and keep at it. If you fail, you try again.
Yeah,
And if you
exactly.
just say you failed,
Mhm. Do
just
you
keep trying.
also have, are you involved with I don't know if you have your own garden or involved
Yeah,
with community gardens? I think I saw something on your page, some videos.
yes. So it's not, well, I mean, I shouldn't say it's not going well this year. The only thing we've harvested this year so far are radishes and lettuce.
Okay.
For some reason, we planted at the end of May, like around the May to May 22nd, that long weekend. A lot of radish, beets, onions, lettuce. We planted flowers, those came up as well. What else we plant? Dill, lots of dill. We got dill. We planted beets, nothing showed up. Arugula did not show up, so we're not sure what's happening. So we're going to replant a lot of those. We don't see
Oh.
onions. We planted runner beans; those are coming up. So
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Mhm.
Okay. I mean,
And
if
just
you have any extras you wanna sell, let me know. I will definitely be your buyer for sure. Especially the
first
way the Sorry?
sorry, the first harvest of radish, I literally we harvested everything.
Wow.
Oh man, what happened? Hi. We
Oh,
harvested
there you go.
everything and took it home, and I literally by the end of the day it was done.
Oh,
I
wow.
ate raw radish all day.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. That's amazing though, you know how to I gotta learn how to do all those things as well.
Mhm.
I want to, especially with the way the world is going. Like it just feels like profit has been over people with everything. You know what I mean? So it's really hard to figure out, especially because they're changing our labels. Even in Canada, I don't know if they are changing the way they label food, guys, in I'll say Australia or where you guys are from, the UK or in the States. but I know they're removing and doing that in Canada. So it definitely makes me want to think about like, you know, okay, I got to figure out how to how to
Yeah.
get a garden or a community garden or something, you know?
Yeah, and
So,
with label, it's meaning that the not everything needs to be listed. Like
mhm.
referring to, yeah.
Yeah, not so what does that mean? Like not everything needs to be listed. So they can pretty much put anything in our food
Even know what the exactly, or
and
it
you don't
might
even know what
fall
you're
under
eating.
one category and you don't know what that even yeah, you won't know everything that's in your food, which I think is wrong.
Yeah, it's quite scary. It's not
Mhm.
really being like ethical or honest as well. So that's
Right.
why I want to stray away from, you know, like as much as I love Costco and all these different big places, even small places and even health places. Like you think that, you know,
Mhm.
you're going to a healthy store like Healthy Planet or I don't know about Farm Boy or some of them, and you're thinking that, okay, this is all organic. This is all but once you start really reading the labels, guys, you realize that, wow, there's like just as much sugar in here as there is in Lucky Charms or something else, you know? Like
True.
it's yeah, it's just to me it just feels a bit I don't know. I mean, that could be another topic, a little dishonest. So for me, I'm trying to learn and maybe pull together with more like-minded people that understand kind of what the changes and what's happening, and
Yeah.
you know, communities that like are together on this as well, right?
Right.
So, yeah, which I'm still looking for as well. So what would you say are myths about being vegan for you that you've gotten?
Oh, you're not getting enough nutrients for sure. You're not getting enough protein, or vegan is it's a white thing. That's one of the big things too. When people don't realize that there's so many different cultures that eat that way. It's not just, you know, not just what it is. So those are definitely some of the myths. A lot of people ask always for years, and they're still asking, where do you get your protein from? And I'm like, the same place that the cows get their protein from. Like all these animals that eat the same place that they get their protein from. That's where I'm getting it from greens and grains and all that stuff. So
Yeah, and that was my next question, obviously. Like
mhm,
I kind of know where you guys, you know, where vegans get from, but I, for a lot of people that don't really understand or really know,
yeah.
yeah, you know, do vegans get enough protein? Can you kind of explain that, like with the animals, like break it down just so, you know, so people may have understanding? Because I know we're always taught you got to consume like red meat or chicken, or you got to consume all this to get your protein. But when you think about it, where is the protein coming from in the animal? So maybe you could kind of explain it to people.
Yeah, so I'll just reference an article that I actually pulled, just a moment, that actually talks more about that. Like it just talks about like just the 14 reasons why. It's one of the my favorite articles that I've, referenced over the years. And it was written by the Humane League, and it just sorry, kids.
That's
And
okay, no problem.
it's just it's 14 reasons why going being vegan is best for the planet. And it just talks about like, reducing like greenhouse gas consumption and all that stuff. And then right, and just referencing like factory farm. So the article references that vegan diet, like it does keep people healthy. Um, there are lots of sources of protein, and a lot of it comes from quinoa. Quinoa, for example, is it's a whole protein. We talked about buckwheat, one of the best things
Mhm.
that you eat, and just a lot of beans. Those are just a lot of the sources where you can get your protein from. And it just comes down to there's actual vegan like recipe books that talks specifically about protein. and how much to eat to get into your diet every single day. So, if you are going that route, it would be good to make sure you have a book like that to reference, just to make sure that with all your meals every day, you're actually getting enough protein. And two, you would definitely need to, um, I always suggest that people speak to their doctor before making such like that drastic change, just to make sure that they're getting enough of everything that's needed to keep them healthy.
Yeah, those are some great facts for sure. Um, yeah, definitely. Would you do you have to get protein, like have protein every single meal? Because that's what we did on our 40-day thing. You had to have a balance, fat,
Mhm.
protein, and carbs. Like you had to balance that all out every meal. We even had to weigh everything.
So they're with depending on your weight, and it, there's a certain amount of protein that you have to consume every day, depending on your body size, your body like your weight. So depending on the meal that it depends on the meal that you're making. You don't necessarily have to have protein in the morning, the afternoon, and the evening, but just making sure that you get it in like one or two meals a day, enough of that.
Okay. How you
Mhm.
doing, Flirt? Good to see you. We have Miss Garcia that does an awesome show as well, and Miss Princess as well from Australia that does a great show. All you guys do good shows too. Make sure you guys are following them as well. Thanks for coming through. So right now we're sitting down with Richerearth Vegan Eats.
Okay.
I Yeah, and I bought some of her. She's new to Twitch, you guys. This is her first time on Twitch. So
Yes,
she, yeah, so she
which I love interviews.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you done, many interviews or no? Not
No,
really?
no, remember.
Oh, you're doing great. You're doing good. Trust me. You should have seen me my first day I wanted to give up. I
Yeah.
promise you that, like, 3 years ago. I was like, "Oh, man," and I didn't have a guest. I must
Yeah.
have said, and I still do, but I must have said that at least 1,000 times. So
Mhm.
it's good that you're doing this. I appreciate you coming on. Right when I met you, I'm like, yeah, you're going to be great at coming on and giving
Thank
feedback. And yeah, and Miss Princess says you're doing amazing as well.
you, Princess.
Yeah, I don't know if you could see that. You could see the
I
comments,
can
right?
see it. Hi. Thank
Okay. Awesome. So yeah, make sure you guys definitely support and check out her products. I know they're not available yet internationally, but that's our hopes for her.
you. Yes.
We want to make sure that we, support businesses like this. The big chain stores and organizations that we always support get enough money from us. We want to make sure that we're supporting local businesses, even in your area. Make sure you guys dig for them. And I bought a few of her products. I think it was the peanut punch, which was amazing,
Thank you.
and it was very, very flavorful, like really, really good. And I love peanut punch. Like when I was
Mhm.
in Jamaica, whew, must have gained like 10 pounds
Just
off
from
it. Yeah, my friends are like, "Girlfriend, like you need to slow down. Like what's up with this peanut punch?" I think I had like 2 or 3 in my hands. Like I'm
it
just
tastes,
like,
it tastes like dessert. That's the
"Oh,
problem.
it does." And the porridge, I think it was the porridge too.
Yes.
Um, so yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, they're like, you need to stick with water." And it was so good, the peanut punch there. And yours, like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like you could really, really taste um the ingredients in there, which I really liked, Like it was just something different in what you did that you could really taste it. It was really good. And her salad dressing, you guys. So we're going to get into some of her products as well in just a little bit. Um, but so basically, what you were saying before is, I think most people. Yeah, my next question was, um, like, aren't humans designed to eat meat? But most people, I think the way they market it is that you need meat, but really the
Mhm.
protein you're getting from the animal is what the animal eating, like the vegetation or the, vegetables and everything, right?
right. Like
Yeah.
that, I don't think that's a question for me to really answer. I can't really, I don't throughout the history of the whole world,
Hmm.
I really know. I know that my circumstances allow me to be able to eat this way, and that is not the case for everyone. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
so not everyone's in a position to be able to, go fully vegan
For
for
sure.
for whatever reason, based on their circumstances, where they live, the food they have access to. Um, should we all be? I mean, I would love it if, no animals were harmed ever, but realistically, it's not realistic. It's not a
Hmm.
real
Yeah.
at all. At all. There are
Mhm.
places where people don't have access to fresh vegetation. Yeah, it wouldn't be fair for me to say we're not designed to eat meat. I don't know the history of the world enough to speak to that. Or
Yeah. No,
like,
that makes sense. I kind of wondered that because when
yeah,
I heard that the other day, I was like, wow, I didn't even think about that. That because we're always taught that that's where you get your main protein is from animals, but really, like, our protein is coming from what they're eating, which
right.
is like vegetation. So
Hmm.
it's kind of like maybe I wonder if it goes in our system where it's second or third, like it's not direct. But if we
Right.
were eating, and I don't know how humans ate like way, way back in the day when they used to live for like 300 years. They're
Exactly.
probably living off of the land for sure.
Yeah,
And
yeah, and sacrificing.
yeah. And working like not and now we're just getting vitamin D going out, but they're like working outside. They're outside more, we're not. We're more
Mhm.
inside too, right?
Right.
Yeah, so it's pretty interesting looking at food and seeing but even what they're doing, I think, to our food, it's quite scary when you look at it, like even with our meat and the things that they're doing now. It's like, is that even meat? Like, I don't know.
True.
I'm not quite sure.
It's so true. And I'll tell you, because I was born in Jamaica, and in Jamaica, the food tastes completely different. I don't know if you can attest to this. Like,
Mhm.
tastes like food, right? Then that's what I remember growing up. And then I came here, and then it was okay. And then I found that over the years, meat started tasting different, vegetables started tasting different, a lot of like the packaged food started tasting different. Even macaroni and cheese, the taste changed because, I mean, I love food, and I have like my taste buds, like they pick up on everything. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I could tell you, oh, they changed the recipe of a food that I used to eat before. I could tell you that the recipe's not the same, like after a couple of years. Um,
Mhm.
and I don't know, like in Jamaica, when my mom used to do like Sunday dinners, and she used to do like the rice and peas, and the Jamaican Sunday dinner, the rice and peas and chicken. And so what she used to do is they would get the fresh chicken, and then she would like skin the chicken, fry the skin of the chicken to get the actual oil from the skin, and then that's what she would use to actually fry the chicken.
Oh,
And then
wow.
yeah, so it's just a thing that people do in Jamaica. And then when she came to Canada and she tried to do that here, the skin in the chicken, it was just like water.
Oh,
Like it was
wow.
completely different, right? She couldn't do that. So yeah, food is different. um
Yeah.
it definitely has it depends where you live, where you go. Some things are a lot more natural. Here a lot of in North America, a lot of things are more mass produced,
Mhm.
factory farming. There's antibiotics that are given to the animals, because they're all crammed in. They're not allowed to, like roam free, like for example, that they would in Jamaica, and just, you know, eat well. They're fed different types of grains. It's different here for sure.
So true. Hey, Father Damien, good to see you. Father Damien, you got to talk to Chef PLR. He's got like a professional Italian chef.
Okay.
and I'm going to mention you to them as well. He cooks for Father Damien. Father Damien's like a Catholic priest on Twitch that also does a show called House of God. He turned DJ, so we got everything on here pretty much.
Yeah.
But Chef PLR does cooking for him like every day, and
Mhm.
you should check out some of these products, Father Damien, and get Chef PLR to check out some of her products. It's Richerearth Vegan Eats. It's only available in Ontario, but my hope for her too is that it starts expanding international as well. I would
Yeah.
still post, you know what I mean? I would still post. Try to work if you can on your social media, even like I don't know if you have a TikTok. I know some businesses blew up hugely just by their products. So you talking about the products to people,
Mhm.
they are really good. Father Damien, I actually had her peanut punch. I bought at the farmer's market a couple weeks ago, I believe, or maybe about a month ago. And I also got her salad dressing. It's like this poppy seed dressing. We could actually probably get into it now if you'd like to. Maybe show them a few of your
Yeah.
products and what you
Oh,
have.
over. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
I was trying to see if my tablet would start working again. Let's see. So,
Okay. It's up to you if you want to show a
oh,
few
no,
or.
no, I'll
Okay.
definitely, yeah, I'll definitely show them. I did bring something to show, so
And they're really good. Like Father Damien's a foodie like me. We're both foodies.
I
So
probably
if I say it's good, I know you're gonna like it, Father Damien. You're probably gonna like it. And I'm mentioning him because he's in Ontario, and that's where she ships to.
So I have this here that I'll just show you guys. Um, see, it's really hard. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, you might have to bring it down a bit.
Yeah, so this is the first one that Marie is mentioning. So this is
Yes.
herb poppy seed dressing. It's made with we don't use sugar in our dressings. I mean, it's maple syrup that's used, which is, somewhat sugar, but
Could you
it's
bring the label closer? Like go like that. Bring it. Okay. I think we could kind of see. Okay, move it over. Okay, there we go. There we go.
my left is right. Okay, I see what's happening.
Yeah,
Okay,
there we
so
go.
here, that's the herb poppy seed dressing, and it's just made with one of the main things that makes it so good is that it has green onion, like fresh green onion that's in this, and
Oh, I would have never guessed that.
yeah,
That's why it tastes. What
yeah,
gives it the sweet kind of flavor? Do you put
it's
some
the
type
maple.
of?
Yeah, it's a maple syrup. It's got the maple syrup, the apple cider vinegar, the black pepper. It's got paprika in there. It's the ingredients are so simple, so simple. And then this is our walnut maple mustard vinaigrette. This one is
Ooh.
my absolute favorite because there's so much you can do with this. You can use it as a dip for crusty bread, and I love bread. And you can use it as it's great as a marinade, and even for people that are like non-vegans, a lot of non-vegans comment about the ways that they cook with this. And you can also use it as a dip for vegetables, and just on greens is delicious. And
Can
then
you
this,
put it closer again, just so we could see it again? Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah. Right there. Perfect. And put it a little closer in. Let's see here. Oh, you know what I can do, guys? Sorry, I can just zoom in on us. There we
oh,
go.
ooh,
Perfect. Now you guys. Okay, so you guys see that? That's the walnut maple mustard. I'm gonna try that next as
yeah,
well. That looks amazing. I can't
yes.
remember if I tried that when I saw you guys.
I
I
think you
can't
only
remember.
tried the poppy seed.
Yeah,
And
everything I tried, she sold me on, guys. Like, she didn't even have to sell me. It was that good. Father Damien's asking what the sodium content
so
is it
sodium
high?
is, I will tell you, oh, if I can read this. On the label for this one, it's 25 milligrams. So 5%.
Okay. Miss Princess says looks so good. Yeah, the salad dressing was really, really good. Like really flavorful. Yeah.
And then there is this one, which I don't think you had an opportunity to try the ketchup. So this is our spiced guava ketchup. It's not a hot sauce. It's just you can use it as a dip, as a marinade, to cook with. My favorite thing to do with this is to dip my when I do a vegan pizza and just dip the crust in this. So we do it in like a mild flavor and a hot flavor. So it's very versatile. It's absolutely delicious. So those are the three main products for now. When it comes to developing recipes, I have to love it. So
Hmm.
and it has to be able to stay in the fridge for a while. Like I've developed some really good ranch type dressings using like nuts and all that, but the shelf life, like in the fridge, would be maybe 2 weeks. So I'm still working on some other ones, but these are the three ones that have been going strong for the last 2 years. And
Nice. What made you decide to put guava in the ketchup?
yeah,
That's interesting. Like, what made you decide, "Oh, hey, I'm gonna make ketchup, and I'm gonna put guava in it?" Like, I would never think ever to put those together.
okay. So you know how some people are just gluttons,
Mhm.
and you'll just be sitting there one like I can't even really think back. It's just not really a big fan of ketchup, so I don't really buy ketchup, right? And it was just thinking, um, it was one of those things where you could use some ketchup, and you're like, okay, what can I put together? And then then I did some research, and this came together. Yeah,
Wow, that's
I
really
wanted,
cool.
yeah, I wanted something fruity. Oh, there's a bug on me. Sorry.
That's okay.
I wanted something fruity. So, and I love guava. I love guava. I love guava juice. Oh, it's so good. So, that's how the two got together. So it's basically using ingredients that are similar to what you would use to make the jerk sauce.
Oh, interesting.
Jerk. So it has like the nutmeg, sorry, not nutmeg. It has like the cinnamon, the allspice. It's got Scotch bonnet pepper. What does it have in there? Scotch bonnet
Does
pepper.
it have thyme in there? No.
Okay, that's what was the next thing I was going to list. So
Oh.
it does have that time. So ingredients similar to what you use to make jerk sauce, which is something that I do all the time. Make my own jerk sauce, and then just adding tomatoes to it, like sun-dried tomatoes, and then just for that fruity, we could have gone with mango. Like no, mango ketchup does not sound great, so you know it was just guava. Guava just worked.
What about papaya? Twitches our radio says papaya.
Papaya ketchup. If I love papaya, maybe.
Oh, Father Damien says guava's nice.
Thank you.
Twitches is like when you dip, I dip. She's singing the song there. Um, yeah, actually, papaya might be something. She might be onto something. Papaya might be good
Okay.
to make some type of sauce with.
Okay, I will definitely think about that. Papaya.
Look, Twitches. Look, you could be her partner in crime. With these ideas, you never know. Actually, papaya is a pretty good one, I think,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. But then does your shelf life last, like, a lot shorter, of course, if
No,
you're
because it has, again, it has we use dates. We start off using molasses, but now we use dates in there, and it does have vinegar in there. So the shelf life for the ketchup is about 6 or 7 months. For the dressings, it's 9 months. But the funny thing with the poppy seed dressing is, and I don't know how it was just maybe fluke when I developed the recipe. The longer it stays, the better it tastes. Like
Mhm.
almost like it ages like fine wine.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
it's the craziest thing. Um, but yeah, so they all have to be refrigerated, but they have a really good shelf life. Or
Okay, so how many the main products you have, those are your main products right now?
products, but
Mhm.
our business model, it's changed. When we first started, I guess we always knew this was the direction that we would take. We started up market with just the poppy seed, and we were
Mhm.
at least like, yeah. about 50 bottles each market, and that was in Hamilton, Ontario. We started at Terra Winter Market, and that was just before COVID. So it was the winter of 2019 going into the spring, and that's when the market was canceled. But we just started with that product. We started off with soup. I have a line of fusion soups as well. We do like
Ooh.
sassy Jamaican pumpkin soup.
Oh,
We
that
do
sounds so
Jamaican,
good.
yeah, we do Jamaican red pea soup. We do callaloo soup. I'm launching a jerk lentil soup for the fall.
Hmm.
So we do a really good. We do corn soup. So yeah, we do soups.
Did you have them? Did you have them at the farmers market? So soups?
Did not. So people usually
Oh, okay.
order for pickup, or we usually have it hot and ready to eat on
Ooh. How
doing
much are
soup.
your soups as well?
Okay, so we sell them in the 1 liter jars, and they range from $12 to $14.
Oh, okay. That sounds really good. I'm gonna have to probably grab some soup from
Yeah.
you as well, you know? Uh, that sounds super good. So yeah, if you guys are in the Ontario area, again, support her local
Mhm.
business called Richerearth Vegan Eats. I met her at a farmer's market a little while ago, and right when we had the conversation, I'm like, "Oh, I got to have you on my show to talk about health and some of these tips for people as well." And we should be digging, guys, for better food because when we eat out, and even if you have cheat days, right? Like
Right.
even trying to eat clean, I'm trying to get there where I could eat clean maybe 80% of the time or even 70%, and then maybe the weekends I cheat a little bit, right? And don't feel guilty for it, but at
Mhm.
least taking the steps to get there, right?
Right.
um yeah, that I think is really important. So yeah, your social media platforms, if someone can post her Instagram, I don't think I actually, it's not working. I tried putting it in there.
I think
um
because it could be because it's private. We are relaunching our website and Instagram in the fall. So for now it's private. So that could be the reason why. We
okay, so you could just jot down her name. Are you on any other Instagram platforms, or it's most, or sorry, social media, or is it mostly Instagram?
Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, which think we literally have two posts. So
Hmm.
all at Richer Earth Vegan Eats.
Yeah, so make sure you guys are adding that Richer Earth Vegan Eats,
Yeah.
and supporting her. Again, her peanut, like her products, I've tried, I think two or three. They've all been, actually, I think it was two of them. They're all really, really good.
Thank you.
And I don't say that often, trust me. Like you meet so many people, right? Like
Mhm.
out eating food, and when when you have your spots and you have like the right people, you just keep going, you just keep coming back, right? So I definitely am going to link you with that tail Indian cuisine. Hopefully, you never know the partnership. I always talk to her as well about business and advertising and how important it was, because she was struggling, obviously. I mean, you could imagine rent on the lakeshore, right? Just struggling getting people in.
Yeah,
um,
I get it.
yeah, it takes a while for her. I'm like, go corporate, girl. Like get catering
Mm,
done, try to hit up some businesses, make time for that.
yeah.
But even for yourself too, like you never know. Even do
Mhm.
you cater at all? I know you make soups. Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah, we do quite a bit of catering.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, so we do that. As I was telling you before, our business model, we didn't know the direction we really wanted to go, but we know for sure now. Our goal is to open our own little cafe
Oh, that's awesome.
and eventually have one or two. We've had people approach us to franchise or just like, okay, we don't even have a space as yet, but we're working on some things in the background. So we also want to be, I know that we're not international, we're not able to ship, overseas, but
Hmm.
we're hoping that we can become a go-to destination, like a tourist destination. So, if people come and they visit, they come visit Richer Earth until we can, figure out the shipping abroad.
Yeah, for sure. And definitely if you guys do catering, I mean, I'm in the wedding industry as a DJ, and I could tell you a lot of food is not great. Like people, brides are paying for a lot of money, and
Oh,
the food is not usually the best at hotels. And I've
yes.
eaten a lot of food in my lifetime, guys. I've eaten, look at me, I've eaten a lot of food in my lifetime. Um, and Twitches says, Honey Flo's greedy, so she does not say that often. Sorry, that had me cracking up. I was trying not to laugh at her comment while you're speaking. She likes bugging me a little bit here and there. We bug each other. But yeah, so like also corporate, if people like your catering, like say if you did soups and salads, or you have the soups, but whatever else you have with it, something simple, if you
Yeah.
call up some companies, organizations in your area, even if you give them a lower discount, because when I was in the corporate world, we had to dig for people. And once we liked their food, we would bring them in 4 or 5 times, right?
Yeah.
To feed 100 people. But you have to have capacity also to be able to cater, right?
I think the most we've done is 75 so
Yeah,
far.
that's a lot. That's
Yeah.
still a lot between
We
you guys.
when someone orders for 20, I'm like, oh, that's a breeze.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I see that for you too. So keep I think Tell Indian would be great, you guys linking up to talk to, cuz she's now gaining momentum. And
Mm,
now, I mean, I used to go to her place like weekly, like even myself as a loyal customer, once you like the food, you just keep going. You're going to be loyal, right? And it's going to keep being word of mouth, and hers has been slower, but the word of mouth is spreading now, and it seems to be picking up. So, yeah, so definitely hang in there, because I know it takes time. They usually say
mm,
first 5 years of
oh,
starting a business, right? And then you start seeing profit after 5 years. It takes a while,
mhm.
Father Damien says, Guy, oh, that sounds so good. We got to do that, Father Damien. Again, Father, a bunch of us, Guyanese Chinese food. Yeah.
Mhm.
So went there the other day as well. Let's see here. So, yeah. Yeah. So definitely support you guys any way you can. And then also, another question people might have being vegan is, can being vegan impact like hormone levels at all? Would you
Mm,
know, or I'm not
yeah,
quite sure.
I don't think I can speak to
Speak
that.
on that? Yeah.
Yeah, I know personally for me, no. I mean, I think there's so much that could affect hormone levels. Um, yeah, no, yeah, that's not something I'd be able to speak on.
Yeah. No, that's okay. That's no problem. I
But
was
yeah.
curious if there's any other vegans in the place, if they know, because
Mhm.
I don't have all the answers. I'm learning as well. And I
Yeah.
was just curious about that. Let's see. Uh, what are you saying, Father Damien? Twitches says, I am hormonial. Yes, you are. You're a little cray cray. I agree. And Father Damien says, what? My friend, oh, wait, my friend and classmate, a priest, is a vegan. Oh, okay. Interesting. Uh,
Yeah.
and let's see here. So, do you also take like vitamins, or do you have to take vitamins, or?
Even before I was fully vegan, because I'm anemic, so I always had to take iron substitutes. I take multivitamins, I take B12, and yeah, absolutely yes. And I
Oh,
would
okay.
suggest that for any diet, especially as you get older. Um, and I try to do not try. I get the natural vitamins, for example, and vitamin D, like omega vitamins. They have like vegan versions as well, which is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Oh, so
some
they do have that.
Yeah, yeah. So absolutely,
Okay,
yeah. As
that's
much as
good.
you can do to for your health, I suggest do it.
Yeah, yeah, that's so true. Yeah. So I mean, I know this was your lifestyle for a while. Have you seen other people switch over and just start feeling better, like just naturally eating cleaner?
We have a lot of customers tell us yes, like they'll come up and they'll talk to us and they'll let us know how like changing their diet and going more plant-based, like the great things that it's done for them, as far as family members, trying to no, not even say trying.
No?
Family members, no. My sister straight up told
Aw.
me like she loves meat and she will never. Richard's mom, I think she just laughed at us for years and she still laughs at us. She has no interest in our
Aw.
food, his family. I would say my mom is the like she doesn't really eat meat. Like she's more on the vegan side. And it just my mom is looks very young for her age. You know, she feels good, she's in good health. Um, but anyone else that's close to us that we know personally, they're just not interested. The people that actually let us know the benefits and how it's made them feel are usually strangers.
Yeah, it's so true. And it's usually strangers that support your vision, your passion, your
Yes.
vision. It's never your family and friends. No offense if any friends came through the room. I rarely have friends or family like ever. It's always been that way. But I think
Yeah.
that's how it usually is. I
Hmm.
mean, maybe not everyone would agree because Father Damien has like true support of his like entire family. Heck, his
Aw.
family comes to my chat room.
Oh
My
yeah.
family doesn't even come to my chat room, and his family comes to my chat room. So I think that's special and unique. You don't really see
Hmm.
that. But yeah, the support is usually from strangers,
Yeah.
more. Yeah. So, and I know it probably can't be easy because you're doing a lifestyle that I think I was reading an article too. I don't know how true it is, but they said like 80% of vegans kind of revert back. I don't know if you've heard that, like where
Back to
yeah.
what?
Well, I guess back to meat, like it was hard for them. Like it was a high percentage. I was quite shocked.
I'm
Um
hearing that.
Yeah, I
Actually,
gotta find it because I was looking up different things, a couple nights ago about this,
mhm.
just to prepare. But when I find it, I'll send it to you as well. So I was a little surprised by that. But
Yeah, I am too. Because even sorry to cut you off.
no, go ahead. Yeah.
That for me, if I try to eat meat now, I couldn't do it because my I'm so used to eating a certain way that when I if I try to eat it, it just either it doesn't go down, it doesn't taste the same. I don't feel good eating it. The reason behind eating it. So I'm just shocked to hear that 80% of people actually go back because once you're in it, there's so many reasons, behind why you just wouldn't go back. Okay,
Hmm.
80%.
Yeah. I'll double check. I'm gonna double check to make sure. But some of the positives, you guys,
Hmm.
with vegans, I was looking up, less likely to develop heart disease. So this should definitely be a good sign to any of us.
Yeah.
Um, I'm trying to do less meat. I hope one day I can get to
Hmm.
that point. But definitely I've scaled back, like not really too much like red meat, no, mostly just chicken. If I stick to that. But yeah, vegans, it says less likely to develop heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and high blood pressure than meat eaters are. So that should say something to us. And maybe it's also because of what they put and inject in the meat as well, right?
Hmm.
And how they clean the meat. Like, it's like, wow, are we
Yeah.
even eating meat?
Right.
um who knows, and also with the new thing coming out where they don't have to label it. What is it? I don't even know what it's called, where they're putting stem cells together, like they're making like basically lab grown meat is going
Yeah.
to be the biggest thing. And
Yeah.
in the states it's already like it's already accepted, like lab grown meat. What would that do to us? I don't know. So, I think I'm literally gonna get a shovel and try to try to build a garden
Garden
in my
going.
back somewhere. And if I don't have enough space back there, then I'm gonna go to my next door neighbors and make friends with them
Exactly.
and definitely do that. Oh, yeah, and Father Damien says also modified vegetables. Yeah, that's true. That is
Yeah.
true with vegetables too. So is there any vegetables you kind of like stay away from? Hey, not your average guy too. I see you here. He says team meat eaters, but I can respect the vegan lifestyle. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that, right? Everyone has different opinions
Yeah,
on things. Yeah, the modified vegetables, that's quite scary. Father Damien says, was it Bill Gates? I just heard he bought up the entire universe of plants
farm
and vegetables and is putting the what is it? The mRNA
RNA,
vaccine or
right?
putting that in. So what do you do when you hear things like that? Like, doesn't that, I don't know. For me, it's got me concerned, you know? It's like there's nothing you can really do
I
except
went.
plant your own garden.
It must have been, I'd say, 8 years ago. I had the opportunity to see this author speak. I forgot his name, but he's written a lot of really good books on vegetables, and I was really excited to see him. And I had the opportunity to ask him a question, and I asked, "What are we going to do when people start ruining vegetables?" And he didn't understand my question.
Wow.
It's just the way I worded it, because it's almost like, I don't know if I saw it coming, but it's almost like someone's just out there to ruin good food, period, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he answered, but I can't remember what the answer was. It was so long ago, but I did ask that question, and then to see that it's actually happening, like things are being modified. And then I found out, um one of my really close friends, she was studying like permaculture in university, and she was learning that they're fish infused vegetables. And
Oh,
I
yeah, I've heard that.
just couldn't understand, like, what does that mean? Right, so you're eating vegetables, but it's infused with like fish parts, or so.
That's
you know
insane.
did you
I heard that with chicken or like cereal or stuff like they're actually finding fish particles in like cereal or like desserts or something you shouldn't find it in.
yeah,
Yeah, it is pretty crazy. So that's great you guys are growing. Are you part of like a community of people that kind of, you know, maybe pool together or maybe or are you guys kind of more on your own, like learning and doing this stuff? Or do you have a
um
community of people too that are kind
yeah,
of like-minded?
yeah, so it's definitely it's a community garden, and we we have a group email and everything. We can ask questions, and then a lot of the times when we go to the plot, we'll see a lot of the growers there, and they'll give really good advice. They'll share whatever is there. So there is definitely that community there. And then the nonprofit organization that actually owns the plot, they're called EcoSource, and they're a great resource as well. We can ask anything, get any type of help that we need. So, yeah.
Oh, okay. So community gardens, do you guys like plant
Mhm.
your stuff individually or can you just be a part of a community garden and just buy from them? Or no, you have to plant your own?
Oh, plant your you have to plant your own. Yeah.
Oh, and then you share it, right? Is that how it
Yeah,
works?
they can share it. Yeah, there are a lot of people that share it. Like, we don't sell it to each other.
But then what happens if people take more? Like they take more carrots. You're like,
Uh,
"Hey, don't take more
I
carrots."
haven't.
I'd probably be like that if I was in a community garden. I'd be like smacking their hand, "Hey, you're only
Oh,
allowed 2 carrots."
no, well, I can't admit, but in our plot particularly, everybody has like their own community like bed, so to speak,
Mhm.
call it, and then you're allowed to people. I would not take vegetables from a plot that I didn't get permission to take from, but people have been good.
Oh, that's good. So it's not like the corporate world where like Sally stole,
No,
someone's mac and cheese or, I used to hear that a lot when I worked in the corporate world. Hey, this person took my lunch or so
that's so gross. I can't even imagine
yeah, I
opening
know. I
lunch
can't even imagine
and
taking
leaving it
someone's
there.
lunch and
Oh,
eating it. Yeah, barter system. I think that's good. I was looking at community gardens, trying to figure out what I could do. Because even with farmers markets, there's been so much on the news too, especially in Ontario. Like I've tried so many and you don't taste the difference. And even
right.
when I ask some of them, hey, did you grow in Ontario? And then all of a sudden I see Chinese writing on the box. I'm like, I know you did not grow this in Ontario, and the taste does not taste like different. And a lot of them, for all you guys I don't know, have been caught like literally buying from wholesalers or supermarkets and just raising the price up. So how do you really know? I guess do you just judge it by taste? Like,
They find out eventually. We had the manager that runs the Peterborough Farmers Market. He actually visited us in Kitchener a few weeks ago, and he was telling us how they had to shut down the market for a while because they caught so many of the farmers, basically all of them. They were just buying from the food terminal.
that's so crazy.
So yeah, they had to shut it down for a while.
Wow, 'cause yeah, I'm not noticing too much of a difference. Like, I was excited to taste some peaches. Like, I bought, I tried a new one in Port Credit
Hmm.
and, talked to a lot of them but everything's so pricey. Like, even coffee, like, that's this tiny is like $20, everything's so
Yeah.
crazy expensive right now. I know
Hmm.
everyone's trying to catch up and pay for they need to survive as well,
Food.
um, but yeah, just tasting these peaches, I'm like, wow, like this actually tastes like it's from a farm.
Yeah.
So that was exciting to me. I don't know, but I'm kind of nerdy like that, guys. But I
It's
do get excited once you find a few venues or find a few people that it's good.
yeah.
But do you mostly like do you guys buy oh no, I mean you build your own garden. Would you go out and
We don't. Okay, so the food that we grow is for our consumption only.
mhm. Yeah,
We use it to cook the food for anyone, like the products that we make. We use we buy from farms that are they're professionals. They grow, they have their standards. So we will buy from small farmers. We are at Kitchener Market every single Saturday, so we get a
mhm.
lot of produce for the week, like the planning while we're there. And then we also buy from the Ernmos Farmers Market on Thursdays. So that's how we're able to, keep it a lot of the items that we use local.
Okay, so how are you finding I was gonna ask you too how you advertise and, like, what events, and where you kinda market in Ontario so people know, so you could mention it again. I know you just mentioned Kitchener as well.
So we do a weekly update where it's called From Our Table. So we'll let people know where we are weekly. We'll always have the schedule on our website. It just says at the top, you'll see it says events and markets. We are at Kitchener Market year round now. We absolutely love it there. Love it there. We've built a really good customer base. We have regulars that come and see us every week.
Awesome.
We do our sauces, we do our soups, we do prepared foods. We do natural juices. Our carrot apple ginger juice is very popular. The peanut punch. We do vegan baked goods, the vegan chocolate zucchini cake. We do rasta pasta. We do
Ooh,
apple pies. So it's really good practice. It's been really good practice for us for when we actually get our own little cafe space.
for
And
sure.
yeah, the way things are set up there, we're actually in a corner. We have a sink, and we have the way it's set up. It does look like a little cafe, so we run it that way.
Nice, and you should ask everyone that comes through, try to get their email addresses or contact info,
Hmm.
so you keep it so they're not just coming to you, but you keep kind of like a list of clients, and also ask, say, "Hey, if you work for a company,
Hmm.
is there anyone in your company that would look for like catering or we could come in?"
Hmm.
Just like starting that dialogue because you guys are so good at talking to people. That's the first thing I actually noticed about
Hmm.
you guys compared to a lot of vendor. I mean, you guys sold me, right? And there's a lot of vendors there. So I think just the way your presence is and how you guys are friendly and
Yeah,
you're not like, okay, buy this, buy this. Like you're not like really forceful like
not at
I've
all.
seen other vendors, right? And you could tell you guys are genuine. So I think, yeah, just kind of probing a little bit more, maybe asking people or your loyal customers that come in, those type of things, like,
Yeah.
just because you never know who knows who, right? Um, where you get your next like big catering gig or that sort of thing.
Hmm.
And do you also so it seems like word of mouth has been really effective in some of these trade shows, like at the farmers markets, have been
Yeah,
good for you. Yeah.
absolutely. Because as you can see with the social media, we're not very active on there. And it's
Hmm.
just that we don't have the time. For me, and I know it's, oh man, for me, the most important thing is the food.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be on social media if I have a market or if I have a job. The most I'll do is like post a story that we're there. But me preparing the food well is is number one. That's number one for us. And it's been working, but we know that we have a lot more work to do. Eventually we will be able to afford to hire someone. We've now connected with some agencies that's actually able to help us get us help, and that will reimburse us for the wages that we pay. So we're starting that in the fall. And then we also have some really good things in the works. The relaunch of the website, adding, market favorites on there that people can order. You figuring out how to expand and ship, products to the US because we get a lot of inquiries from that. We actually had someone, I don't know how she's going to do it, but someone from Hungary
Oh wow.
bought 2 bottles of the poppy seed because her dad had bought it. She's visiting. Her dad had bought it,
Hmm.
fell in love with it, and I don't know how she's going to do it, but apparently she's taking it back home with her.
Oh wow, that's awesome. That's
So
really great.
we'll see. Yeah.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah, that's really, really awesome. And then
Mhm.
also, have you guys looked into like how is it also being like a black owned business? Like, have you guys looked at maybe grants or because I know they're giving funding earlier on in the pandemic.
Mhm.
Um, I used to actually work for a radio station. I probably won't get into all of it, but it was
Yeah.
supporting Black-owned businesses as well. And that was my job actually, selling advertising and trying to, so I looked at a lot of grants and a lot of things for these businesses. So I heard definitely mixed reviews on a lot of different ends with it,
I
but
have
I'm
mixed views for sure.
mhm, yeah.
It's not just giving us the money, which
Mhm.
be very helpful. What I found happen is the money went to specific organizations. And what these organizations did is what they did was hire experts to teach us how to run our business properly. So
Oh wow.
you'll have them hire 10 different experts on 10 different topics, and then you sign up for this program, and all they're doing is, they're telling you, but you're not actually getting any money, which would actually be useful. So, the money's going to their friends, their husbands, to come in and teach. So that's how I found the money's being distributed.
Oh wow. Yeah, I've heard definitely mixed reviews. I guess I just had the question because I'm
Mhm.
always thinking, okay, how can a business grow? How can it work? How can, when I interview people, I always think of because
Mhm.
you guys have so much talent and so much to offer
Thank
that
you.
it's like even when I was meeting different clients at that job, it's like I was always thinking my brain was spinning like, okay, what can they do to get this or to get that? So some of them did mention the exact same thing you're mentioning too.
Mhm.
I just thought that, like, say the big banks like TD Bank or some of the banks that were, all huge into giving grants and stuff. And then some corporations just didn't know who or who to kind of connect with. So I was kind of curious if, you maybe tried that angle as well
Well,
with it.
even bank, because we bank with Scotiabank, and I know that they definitely got money. But
Yeah.
when I
Yeah.
spoke with them, apparently we didn't qualify.
Wow. Okay.
It's like, but the thing, and it's terrible to say this, but it's like all this money came, and then you'll see other people, they have all kind of shops, they're opening franchises, and we're just like, we're all the black businesses
Mhm.
going to everyone else. but us.
Hmm.
When it comes to us, like I said, it's going to specific organizations that's actually teaching us, you know, giving us, teaching us skill sets. And that's all
Wow.
down to where everyone else is actually getting money.
Yeah,
So,
it's definitely crazy.
yeah.
Um, for sure.
Hmm.
Not your average guy says why that doesn't shock me as well.
Yeah.
He's in the States. Yeah. And then he also says we need more of this community gardens. That is,
Yeah.
I love some meat, but I love fruits and veggies as well.
Well, that's good.
Um, let's see here. And yeah, I know it's kind of unfortunate when people talk about funding and actually where that money goes.
Hmm.
That was probably one reason why I left the station, because
Oh,
it's like I'm like, yeah, no, I think I'm good,
mhm.
with how things are being, because you can promote it, right? But do you really mean it? Are you really about it as well, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, I think that's definitely important. But I mean, still, I don't know, like definitely still look into things because it could be a different angle that, you
Yeah.
know,
Oh no.
um,
Yeah, and you're absolutely right about the different angle.
mhm,
Because the city of Kitchener actually approved us for a grant to hire
awesome.
students,
Oh,
to hire
wow.
summer students, but we don't have time to train summer students
Mhm.
because we're busy. They give us the opportunity to hire 5 different people.
Wow.
I mean, it will work out better for us next year when we're in a better position. But then we're also now have the opportunity to hire someone and be reimbursed in the fall for the salary. So that will work out better for us. So you're right. There are different opportunities that are coming our way other
For
than
sure. Or
waiting.
even funding people, like, say, having interns using them as, like, salespeople, or, like, a lot of younger people are really good at social media,
Yes.
maybe using them at
Mhm.
trying to, like, build your social media because you can't do everything. It sounds like you have a lot of different products and a lot of different things. So just
Mhm.
maybe outside the box, thinking of different ways to utilize whatever they give you, whatever resources they give you, like, just
Yeah.
take it any way you can, And
Yeah.
it's usually places that you wouldn't expect. Like you would think, oh, hey, Toronto, lots of people here. It's gonna, like, for example, I used to tell my clients, like, say if you're a realtor, don't go into a realtor um business, right? Like for you, I wouldn't say don't go to the jerk fest, but you're
Right.
kind of competing against like tons of Caribbean people that have a lot of different products, right? But
Mhm.
sometimes places like Kitchener, or places that are so, far away that you wouldn't even be thinking, you really stand out. So it's like a realtor. I would always say, don't go into a realtor magazine and advertise because there's a million realtors. Go into something crazy like a kids magazine, and you pop out like very, very uh, very big, right? Because you're the only that's the only realtor in that magazine.
You're
So they thought I was crazy. They're just like, "What? I'm not seeing it," but they did advertising in hockey rinks, they did advertising in kids magazines, and I'm telling you they stood out way more doing that than if they were to do it the way that everyone else was doing it, right?
Mhm.
Um
I agree.
so, yeah, just some ideas. I don't know. I'm just thinking. If you guys have any ideas for her in the chat, definitely post. But again, one way you can help her as well, even though the products aren't available outside of Ontario yet, but she definitely will get to that point. Make sure you guys support her, add her on Instagram, talk about her products. They are really good. The name is Richerearth Vegan Eats,
Mhm.
and she definitely has really good products to showcase. Lisa Beza, you're in Ontario. You gotta check her products too. Yes, yeah. Lisa Beza says government is trying to close down health stores. Devil government knows that these type of things will help cure people.
Yes.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with that too. Because why are you stopping vitamins and health stores? And
It makes no sense.
it makes no sense. And no one is really saying a whole lot. Like, everyone's just like, okay, what's next? What's coming next, But yeah, there's a lot of different things coming next. So we as people have a lot more power than we think, and it's been proven that we do. Yeah, and Lisa Beza says, pharma
Make
companies making the money, which is so true. But we
yeah.
do have power. We have a lot more power than we actually think. And sometimes you think that we're like alone. You think, especially during the pandemic, right? You really think that you're alone in this with your values or beliefs, but then you realize that, okay, the media is saying one thing, but the people are saying something different. There's a lot more power in the people if you pull together, right? And have the same vision for sure. So yeah, and it starts with you guys buying. So buying her products, supporting local business, even in your area, and doing less purchases. Like, look at Target and all these other big companies, right? They lost billions of dollars. And that was buyers' purchasing power deciding not to purchase there anymore, right? Hollywood, I read an article, has lost, I don't know if it was 6 billion or million. It was a lot of money in the last 10 films that they made. Like, it just plummeted downward. And the movie Sound of Freedom, that I'm super passionate about, like, literally made $100 million from the people. And it was an indie film that Hollywood
Try to
tried,
snap
yeah, tried pushing down.
away.
So we got to realize that we have more power, even if it's like a few of us in this room. You tell a few more people, and then tell more people, and then it gets bigger, right? But
Right.
anyways, I can go on about that one. Let's see
So
here.
you have watched Sound of Freedom? I haven't seen it as yet.
Yeah, I've watched it. Yeah, it was really, really good. I've also researched his story and the actors, like
Yeah.
Tim Ballard. I actually did
Right.
last week a human trafficking special that I just jumped on, and like, I'm really passionate about fighting like against that. So I'm trying to find the right people to connect with, especially in Ontario. And we've raised funds actually on Twitch for Restoration House. Did 100 shows global, pulled them together, all female shows a year and a half ago. And we raised money for a restoration house, Seeds Canada in Cambridge. So I felt like, kind of like what you were saying, how companies spread like awareness or training, but they're not actually in the trenches, like working, say, with the business owners, or
Right.
working like with human trafficking, working with survivors. So it was really important for me to like find a company organization that's actually working directly. Like, we don't need to spend billions on awareness anymore. We need to do something, kind of like Sound of Freedom. The
Yeah.
guy literally quit his job. Like, he was 10 months away from retirement, and he quit, like, imagine 30 years, and he
Yeah.
quit his job to basically go to Colombia and like save these kids. Like, yeah, definitely watch it if you can. Um, if you go to Angel Network, you could get a free ticket. So definitely check that out.
Wow.
Um, hey Jones, how's it going? Yes, not your average guy says here, we need to spend time and money on action. So
Absolutely.
true. 100%.
I want.
Lisa,
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
go
I
ahead. Yeah.
wanted to ask, not your average guy, because I know he mentioned not having, I guess, not having access to community gardens. I just want to know if that is the case. Is there, does he have access to community gardens where he is, or no?
Yeah, let us know, not your average guy, if you have access to community gardens or not. Yeah, some people, like you said, don't have that
Yeah.
access, especially in the States too. I was watching how they build cities,
Mm-hmm.
and they literally do not build in different areas, like gardens and vegetation. It's just all, and they do it purposely. Like,
Right.
it's all
Even
strictly fast food.
yeah,
Sorry?
I
Yeah.
can't imagine that. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Lisa Beza says, I'm happy I started a small veggie garden at my friend's balcony. Wow. Hey, Lisa Beza, if you got a few extra carrots, uh, help a sister out,
Carrots.
I know, whatever you have, mushrooms, whatever. I think those are more sugar, a lot more sugar. Do you also like, because I know the plan I was on, they said don't, like, for now, don't cook carrots, mushrooms, onions, because they have high sugar content, like they convert into sugar. So is there certain fruits and vegetables you also avoid too, or not really?
No, I eat it all.
Oh,
I
you eat it all.
yeah,
Okay.
I can't think of any that I don't like or don't cook with.
Yeah, that's why I said, like, food's
Yeah,
kind of like a science, like figuring
yeah,
out these things, right?
right.
Lisa Beza says, I encourage people start veggie gardens if you
Me
can. Yes, I agree.
yeah.
Not your average guy. Where are you again? I thought it was South Carolina, or it was I can't remember what state it was.
There are
Uh,
some, they're far and few between. Okay.
oh, wow. Where are you from again? Not your average guy. Um, let's see. Okay, so Lisa Beza says peppers and herbs and tomatoes.
Yeah.
Not your average guy says we do have local farmer markets that some local growers sell their crops at. Oh, you're in Georgia. I'm surprised in Georgia you can't find in Georgia. Well, maybe it depends whereabouts in Georgia, but
Hmm.
isn't Georgia like kind of city meets country? At least
Yeah,
that's,
that's what I was thinking too.
yeah, I would think that,
Uh,
especially in Georgia, I would think like in a big city it might be a bit harder, but that's interesting
mm.
in Georgia that it's kind of hard to find places as well. Hmm, interesting. Um, let's see. And then also, I know that you were involved with, like, it was food preneur, is it?
Yes. So,
Lab
uh,
scale program. What exactly was that as well, too?
so Foodpreneur, they have this mandate to help food, food entrepreneurs bring their products to market. So this what we're talking about, getting products on shelves like Sobeys. So basically, their goal is to work with food entrepreneurs to get help that to happen. Because part of the program was meeting with Sobeys and having a
Oh,
conversation. That didn't go too well for me because I asked them some really tough questions and I asked them about some of their practices and they couldn't get off the phone fast enough.
oh, wow,
Yeah.
wow.
But yeah, so that's their goal. But they and they're also one of the programs that would have gotten funding and they hire like experts to teach us. But they do have some really good aspects of that program. They teach us things about, packaging. For example, I got help with redesigning my packaging, so that was helpful. They also what they teach, things about getting on shelf, food regulations, and a lot about food regulations, about food tracing, um, and then, yeah, that's about it, and how to get to market.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting. That's good.
Mhm.
Do you guys have any questions for her, like in terms of food or her business as well? We have a few minutes left. The time went by fast. Hopefully, it
Oh,
went by fast for you as well. It's like
indeed, whoa.
almost 2 hours pretty much. Yeah. I thank you so much too for just taking the time and
Thank you.
jumping on, make sure again you guys are adding her on Instagram, Richer Earth Vegan Eats. And for those in Ontario right now, she's got her products for sale. Definitely buy some. Definitely support her. I try a lot of food, as you can see, and a lot of businesses. And honestly, like her, I'm not even just saying it, you guys. Her products are really good. They taste really good, really fresh, and I can't wait to try some of your other products too. Oh, Lisa Beza says she asked if you were a herbalist.
I am not. No.
Okay. Oh, that's nice. Not your average guy. So he said yes, there are some in Atlanta, or in Georgia, of course, just not like tons. But he says, I would just like to commend you and wish you much success. That was nice. Thank you, not your average guy. Now, what would be on your dream bucket list? Like if you could have anything that you could think of for your business, I know you're just kind of starting out too, and it takes time. I'm gonna I'm gonna think about people that even some of my past clients. I mean,
Yeah.
some of them that I've talked to before. I could think about maybe trying to bridge you guys together too, because they do pretty big events in the city, like Vaughan. Especially in the Caribbean community, like they do it in Vaughan, like City Hall and all
Yeah.
these different bigger places. So I'll definitely mention your name to them, and you never know, right? Like it's all
Exactly.
about networking and
Mhm.
connections, and you never know, like how that may work, right?
That's true.
So
Thank you.
yeah, for sure.
On my
Um,
bucket list, for sure, the next step for sure is just opening a cafe. And it's just a nice little space, where people just, it's just good food and good vibes always. That's it. That's my dream.
Awesome. And are you guys in Kitchener? Like you guys live in Kitchener or no? Oh no.
Home base as far as like where we live
Mhm.
and where our kitchen is that we work out of. It is in Mississauga, but
Oh, okay.
we do commute to Kitchener every day, every
Wow.
Saturday. Sorry, not every day. Oh God.
So if you could open up this cafe restaurant, like what area, what would be like your ideal area?
Okay, so we would love anywhere along the lakeshore, going from south down to Port Credit, Lakeview, all the way up to Park Lawn. So we'll
Okay. Oh,
just
wow.
keep working. We'll keep
Yeah, you
working.
never know, and that Tell Indian, she could
Yeah.
probably help you out too, because she's literally right on the lake shore, like right before the Browns line.
Browns. Oh,
Um,
okay, I know where that is.
yeah, she just and she's from Brampton, but she came all the way like here. I was like, why would you come all the way here? I'm sure Lakeshore is probably mad expensive, like the rent and everything down there.
It's crazy
Um,
expensive.
yeah, I could see that. But yeah, yeah, but and even different places. How you doing, DJ? Goody vibes. Good to see you as well. Thanks for coming through. Let's see. Oh yeah, not your average guy says I will try natural cures and treatment versus going to a doctor. 100%. I'm there with you as well. Let's see.
Mm,
Yes, I agree. But some people have to take medication, or they don't have to, but maybe
yeah,
they do actually. So I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Yeah. So, okay. And then what would be on, do you have, I always ask people this question to even DJs, but what would be on
yeah,
like your life bucket list? Do you have anything that you'd want to do? Like anything?
absolutely. I go to Iceland.
Hmm. Oh, wow. That's
Yeah,
cool. Iceland.
go to Iceland, but for a very specific reason. Well, Iceland in itself, I'd love to visit. Like that's some, you know, that's definitely my bucket list. But I do just want to see the Northern Lights. I have not been able to see it in Canada,
Mhm.
but yeah, I'd love to go to Iceland just to sit under the stars and watch that.
Oh, that would be amazing. You gotta come to my home city, Winnipeg, because 'cause you'll see the northern lights a
Oh,
lot there. Yeah.
no.
I thought it was the end of the world. Like, when I was in grade 8, I looked up, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, what's going on here?" I saw all these green, like,
Yeah,
lights. I literally thought it was the end of the world. And when I was, like, 13 years old, I was freaking out. I was like, "I'm not ready." Like, "What's happening here?" 'Cause I didn't even know what it was. Uh,
yeah,
but it was so bright. You see it I don't know why. You do see it a lot in Winnipeg, the northern lights. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Was there a specific time of year that you see it the most?
Oh, I don't remember. I don't it was so long ago, I don't remember, but I know I've seen them a few times out there. I'd have to research that. I'm not sure. Yeah. So what would you say, and I think I asked you this earlier, but what can you say to just to encourage others to try to get more healthier, and maybe if it's not necessarily vegan, because it takes time,
Mhm.
like to, but what could you say to encourage others just to start with getting healthier as well?
Well, the first thing we always have to remember is that we're nothing without our health. It doesn't matter how much you see how many millionaires pass away, or it doesn't matter what someone has, they could be gone in an instant. So your health is all you have. So it has to be number one. And I know that's hard for a lot of people based on like life circumstances or what they're going through or what they have access to. I know that can be difficult, but just to do your best.
Yeah,
Do
so true.
yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever thought of like a cooking book or selling different things like that? I could see you doing that as well.
I'm working on it. I
Okay.
recently spoke. I have a really good mentor. His name is Michael Abramson. He launched one of the very first plant-based companies in Toronto. He also has a cookbook. So he's been really good in giving me advice. I reached out to him to ask me about publishing, what's involved, what needs to be done. He gave me some really good advice. So that is also in the works because I have a lot of materials written
For
that
sure.
to
Yeah,
get.
and it's a lot. And try to take pictures if you can, like of your, I think you do, but social media is a lot of work. So if you could get some interns, get them to at least do that. That'll help you,
That's true.
or get them to start calling like
Mm-hmm.
corporate offices and see if they need catering, right? Like there's different things you could do outside of the box that you may not necessarily think of.
It's
Um,
you're
but just
absolutely right.
different ideas if they're willing. And then also, I don't know if you've also gone to the business center in your area. A lot of business centers offer free consultations and advice.
I went to the Mississauga Business Enterprise Center though. I'd say maybe around 2017. Just remember I
Hmm.
was, and I did speak with them, and I had the opportunity to deliver a cake to the lady that runs the program, but there was no real follow up after that because I moved. But
Oh,
yeah,
okay. I found the one I know Vaughan is kind of far. The Vaughan one was really, really good.
yeah,
Mississauga, I'm not really sure. I've been there a few times, but I found the one in Vaughan pretty helpful. Like I
okay,
guess it depends who you get as a consultant too, but it's free and
so
they have
true.
other contacts. Also, business chamber. Sometimes you could link up with other
Mhm.
people doing things too. Just some ideas, like
You.
uh, to help. Yeah. But we are going to see. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just looking at your comments here, you guys. We're going to actually raid out, which means we're going to bring everyone from this show to another show as well. I'm just trying to see who's online that we can actually raid into, um, and definitely support. Um, let's see here. Actually, there is another cooking show too, which would go along with what we talked about too. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you should check out some of the cooking shows on Twitch too, because
Okay, I will now that I know about Twitch.
yeah, I know it kind of looks like a gamers app, but
Yeah.
I mean, it was initially a gamers app, but they have everything on here. So what we'll do is actually, I think I haven't seen her in a while. Let's support someone different. I know Twitch has said, hey, T
Mhm.
Crizzy, we're gonna catch her another time, but I haven't seen her forever. So her name, actually, I'm just typing it in right now. It's called Hello, It Is Meal Prep. So let's go to her. It looks like she's preparing a meal, and we can check her out. Um, so I want to thank you again
Oh,
for all this time that you've taken and just kind of informing us about, eating better and your business. Again, where could people reach you? I know it was Instagram, but you could mention to them.
so we are on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Richerearth Vegan Eats. The website is richerearthveganeats.com. And sauces, soups, prepared foods. Then, one day we'll have our little cafe.
Exactly. And
One,
I'll bring you back when you I know it's coming soon
yes.
for sure. So yeah, just keep working at it and things I really believe like a lot of big things are going to be in store for you.
Thank
I'm going to come back to are you back in the same location? I got to probably pick up some I'll grab
you.
some other products.
The next date, I believe, is August the 20th. Unless they have openings, then they'll bring us, but I'll message you. But
Okay, that sounds good. And that's Port Credit or what is it called again?
the Lakeview Farmers Market.
Okay, Lakeview Farm. So if you guys are in the Ontario area, it's Lakeview Farmers Market
Mm-hmm.
on Lakeshore. Thanks for coming, Jones. I appreciate you and everyone else. And also Kitchener. She's at the farmers markets, but you guys will see it on her Instagram. So make sure you guys add her. And again, support local businesses. Thank you guys for coming through. We're going to start this raid right now. It just takes about a minute and we're going to go to this cook so you guys could kind of see something different, a cooking show. So thank you, Twitch is our radio, Jones, Lisa Beza, not your average guy. Who else is in here? Just looking. Thank you guys for coming through. I appreciate you. DJ Goody Vibes. Yeah. Let's see here. And everyone else that's come through, we appreciate you. All right, let's see if it's probably just going to take 1 minute. Thanks, Father Damien. Make sure you and Chef PLR buy her products as well.
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna send that to Chef PLR too, because he does a lot of cooking. So, okay, so it's gonna take 1 minute. I think the raid is just okay. It just went through, and I'm gonna try one more time. Sometimes it misses people, so we kind of redo it again. Okay, I think it's going through right now. Okay, and thank you so much again. We'll definitely be in touch, and all the best with your business. And yeah, and thank you again for coming on the show. I appreciate you.
Thanks, Maria.
Okay, all right. Have a great night.
You
Okay,
too.
take care. Okay,
Bye.
bye.